Okay, so what I did is in my document, I created one folder called MAT, and then inside that folder, I created one more folder called bio_python. So I would ask you guys that you people also do the same thing. Just a second. You people also do the same thing. Just a minute. Just a second. Okay, so once you have done this, how many of you have already installed Python? Can you please tell me
Yes,
how many of you have already installed it?
sir, I can.
Hello? Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, thank you, thank you. Yeah, acha, acha. In case if you didn't install, then please come to this website python.org. Those who have already installed it, it's fine. Otherwise,
Excuse me, sir.
yeah, say.
I have PyCharm. Is that all right?
Yes, PyCharm is the IDE, and hopefully within the PyCharm your Python is also been installed. If it is
Yeah,
so,
it's
then there
running.
won't be, yes, then there won't be any problem. I'm coming to the IDE part. I'm coming. So those who did not install Python yet, I would request everyone, please come down to this website python.org, and then if you come to the download section, you will be getting the most updated one. Okay, 3.9, and if you go to, depending upon the OS, whichever OS you have got, so over here wide range of Python available, whichever you feel like you can download, there is no problem with that. It will not take much time to download this particular application, and once you have downloaded, it's very easy to install, just like other setup file, the way you have to install it. Here also you need to install it in the same way. That's pretty simple. Next, and then finish. Should I wait for you people to complete the setup, or should I continue?
Yes, sir. Give us 5 minutes, sir.
Okay, fine, no issue. Please do confirm me once the installation gets over. Well, during the installation phase, there will be one interface where there will be a checkbox which would ask to to set up the path, please do click that checkbox. Or if somebody has a confusion, you can share your screen also.
Sir, I skipped.
Oh, you skipped that one. Okay.
So what to do? And now I'll uninstall it.
It would be good enough if you please uninstall that one.
Okay, sir.
So you have to go to the control panel and from there you have to uninstall it.
Yes, sir.
At the very beginning only that option will be coming at the bottom.
Yes, sir, at the beginning.
Yeah, at the beginning only that option will come. At the bottom, there will be a small checkbox. Bottom
Yes.
left corner, there will be a checkbox written that do you want to click that for the path setup. Now, what is the meaning of that? I will let you know. But that option checkbox needs to be enabled. If you do that, it will be very easy for you to work on. Basically, the path setup means that from any location you can access Python. That's what actually it means.
Sir, there is an option for modify.
Please go on with that. Just try out once. If you get that checkbox, then absolutely okay.
Sir, can I share my screen?
Yeah, in that case, I need to give you the permission, right? Otherwise, just a second. From here, can I share the permission or I have to go? Oh, I can do it from the chat section, no?
Yes, sir, from that list.
Your name, please.
So my name is Tanaya Vaidya.
Medically order, it's there, right?
Yes. Sir, see more.
See more. Okay, see more. Yes. MNOPQRST. Yes, this one, right?
Yes, sir.
So over here, I will get the option from make a presenter, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, over here the modify option is
Yes,
there.
yes, yes. Please go on with this one.
Sir, now?
Just a second. Pip ideal Python first suit. Just click the next button once. Yes, the second option. From the top, the second option, add Python to the environment variable. Please, everyone, please see this one. If possible, you can take a print screen also if you are planning to install it later on. But I will suggest you if you do it right now. Yeah, please click next. So what the advantage of that path setup is? Yes, fine. Now you can click it. Yes. The advantage of that path setup would be you can work on Python from any location. Like I created the folder in the document. You are free to choose whichever drive you feel like. There is no problem. Okay. So once the installation is over, now go to any of the drive as of your choice. Create a folder, whatever folder name you prefer, like I did as a bio_python. And then please get inside the folder, like my screen. Just do exactly like my screen. Once you have done this, now bring the mouse pointer at the top of the address bar right over here. Click it. The whole path will be highlighted. Just check my screen once. Again, I'm showing it. Once you go inside the folder, bring your mouse pointer around the right side of your address bar. Click it. The whole path will be highlighted. Keeping the path highlighted, simply type cmd and hit the enter. Once you do that, your command prompt will get open. The DOS command prompt will get open. Okay. One more time, I'm showing it to you. Bring your mouse pointer into the folder. Here is the address bar. Click it. The whole path is highlighted. Just type cmd and hit the enter. Once you do that, the DOS command prompt will come in front of you. And now I would be checking the Python version. That will confirm whether the Python has been successfully installed in your system or not. So you will type Python, Python, give a space, followed by a hyphen. Be very careful, it's hyphen, okay, not underscore. And Shift V means V for victory, V for version, but the V should be in uppercase. Okay, so Python space hyphen V, make sure the V is in uppercase. If the V is in lowercase, you will go to the command prompt of Python. That I don't want. And hit the enter. You might see the latest version. My version is a little bit old. My one is 3.8. The current version you saw already 3.9. Okay, but that doesn't matter at all. So please confirm me if you are seeing exactly something like this.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So those who are seeing this very output, that means in your system, Python had been successfully installed. And why I asked you to click that environment variable? The reason is I'm working in my documents folder. You can work in D drive, you can work in desktop. Irrespective of whichever location you are, it doesn't matter. It's globally available. That's what actually environment variable means. If that checkbox is not selected, then you have to work in the location where Python is actually present in your system. So that's not very comfortable every time going to a specific location. You're not flexible enough to work with that. So it's a good practice that you click that environment and eventually you can work irrespective of whichever location you are. Okay, fine. So this was the first command that you learned. Next, few minutes ago, someone said that he has installed PyCharm. So what is that? That basically is called IDE. IDE. In which semester did you come across C language?
First semester.
First semester.
Semester 1.
Semester 1. Okay, and in second semester, was there any further programming language?
No, sir, we had
There was
DBMS.
DBMS.
Okay, you have also gone through DBMS. That's really good. So after a gap of one semester, now you are in the third semester, and this is the second programming language which you are coming across. The first semester was C language where you encounter.
We also have C++ this semester.
In this semester also you have got C++. That's really great. Okay, so C language was a procedural oriented language. C++ would be a high level language.
Object-oriented language.
Yes, high level language plus object-oriented language. And what is the meaning of that object-oriented language? We will also get to see in Python too. So whatever you are going to do in C++, a similar kind of thing we will also do in Python as well. Means like you knew very well that C++ is an object-oriented programming language. Were you aware that even Python is also object-oriented programming language?
No, sir, it is quite new to me.
Yes. In fact, I will show you that Python provides the flexibility of working without object-oriented pattern. At the same time, it can also follow the syntax of OOPS. Both are equivalent. You can work on both the format. Okay. So we need one IDE where we are supposed to write our program. Now the question is, you already may have worked in Dev C++ or in code block. So those are IDEs. So in case of Python, you can use PyCharm. You can also use Anaconda Navigator. That is also there, Anaconda Navigator. But right now we are going to work on the core Python. Okay. We are not going to work at this point of time. We are not working at any library. So in my machine, I have got Visual Studio Code installed. Visual Studio Code. So you come to your Chrome, you type Microsoft VS Code. Be very careful. Don't write just VS. Make sure you put the word code also, VS Code. Many of you guys may already have installed it, but those who have not, please come and click the VS Code for download. Okay. Yes, those who have already installed PyCharm, that's fine. You can work in that also, no problem, no issue. But this is much lighter in capacity. Okay, so this is the website Microsoft Visual Studio Code. If you click this, here you will be able to get the executable file. See, Windows is there. Depending upon whichever version of OS you have got, you can easily download that one. So anyone you can download, like user installer, you can go for it. 64-bit, hopefully your OS would be. If you're running Mac, then you have to go with right over here. In case of Linux, you have to choose something from here. So this is also a very small download and it has got no such hassle. You simply download this one and you proceed the normal installation steps. So initially I will be working in VS Code. Then later on I will move to like Anaconda Navigator over there also, we can work on it. So please start the download of this one. Please install this one. Meanwhile, I will say a few things. I will ask you people a few things. Very fundamental thing I will be asking you guys. Okay. So simultaneously do the installation also in case if you want to install it. Okay. So since you have already come across C language, and in fact, in the semester you will be doing C++. So two most vital programming language you are including Python. This would be the third programming language. So I'm very sure in C language. Okay, before I ask the question, I would love to know from you guys an honest confession. Like, did you enjoy C language? I won't mind if you say no. I won't mind at all.
Yes, sir.
So
It was very
C,
similar to Java that we did in our school.
Say once
C,
again. Yeah.
So C was very similar to Java that we did in school.
Okay. Okay.
so C was a bit difficult for me.
C was been very difficult. Okay.
So Python is much easier.
Um, I will not give any kind of judgment right now. Let's
Sir,
see.
now I have a question. Like, I have also heard from many people, like Python is quite easier than like Java, C++, or C. Like, how it is easier? Like, could you say, with is the syntax easier? Because I think the logic would be same in all of the three programs, right?
Right. In this
How
regard,
it is
yes, I got
easier?
you. Yeah, in this regard, I would like to say, yes, many of like you will come across many people who will be saying that Python is easier compared to other language. But the question is, how do you getting this knowledge? Are you coming to the conclusion by watching some YouTube videos? If that is the source of your knowledge, okay.
Sir, I wrote some program by myself. I mean, by watching,
Yes,
taking tutorials from YouTube and then writing
right,
by
right.
myself.
But you know, let me tell you very frankly, had this been so simple, will it be very costly? Ask this question to yourself. If something is very simple, very easy, will it be very precious? Probably no. Because industry wants something which should have some kind of constraint, some kind of restriction. Then only security can be implemented. If everything is so fragile, then where lies the security? And at today's scenario, if anything is not secure, is it sellable? Will the product be sold in the market so easily? I doubt. So coming back to the question, yes, many people say so, but I doubt after, like, when you have done almost 40% of this training, you will not say any farther that Python is simple. I will ensure, I will follow such kind of structure which is actually maintained in industry. Since I come from industry, so that's the reason I will start my very first program in a slight different way, a bit unusual way. Maybe that's how C++ program would start. Maybe that's how Java program will start. So after a few days only you will yourself get to know that what your fellow friend said, that's fine, that's there, but other side of the coin is also there. Okay. So
So
yeah.
the basic things in the Pythons are Python is much easier. I don't know about the complex things.
No. Like even the hello world also I will make it complex. The hello world program, which people will simply write print within bracket within quote hello world. No, I won't write like that, because if I write like that, my client will not persist.
So we
Yeah.
can write it without print statement.
No, I will be using print statement. Just wait for a while. You will see the thing would be different.
Oh,
Okay. Means there has
Okay,
to be
sir.
some, yeah, there has to be some kind of difference, isn't it? Otherwise, like at the end of the day, if the product is not sold in the market, how would we be getting our salary?
There's no use of making it.
Exactly. Just think
Yeah.
from that point of view. No, everything has got a financial aspect also. It's not only related to research and development. No, the development, it has to be sold in the market, whether it's a government who is purchasing it or it's a private sector who is purchasing it. If the thing has got no financial value, it's good for nothing at all, practically speaking. So obviously, in context to industry structured, the way industry followed, that way I will go for this Python implementation. Okay. So starting with a very simple thing which you have seen number of times, like suppose for example, you have seen something called int x semicolon. You have seen this in C language, you have seen this in Java, you would be seeing this thing in C++. So suppose one fine morning, somebody asks you, what is the meaning of this line? What will you say? And keep it in mind, you are a student of BTech, whatever be your domain, that's fine, but BTech is there. All right. So how would you explain?
Integer value function.
Yeah. What would you say?
so we are initializing a variable. I mean declaring a variable.
So you use the word over here. You will use a sentence over here called declaring a variable. Okay. You used this particular sentence, variable. I don't know what is the meaning of this word called variable. I don't know. So how will you explain?
Variable is a named memory location which is containing a specific value.
Memory location. Okay, another point raised over here. So this was one statement. Another statement turn up, that is called memory location. Great. My question is, what is the name of that memory? If I go to the market, can I buy this memory?
X.
Sorry?
Memory name X.
You will go to the market and you will say that give me a memory name X. The shopkeeper will look at you. What are you saying?
No.
So the memory is inside
No,
the
he tried to
computer.
see like here the memory or the location is X because
No.
you have initialized int X.
The guy said that this X got created, or this X is a location in the memory. Am I right? That was a statement. So now my question is,
Yes, sir.
which memory? Which memory are you talking about?
Index.
No, I'm not talking about this part. I have slightly shifted my point. Now my focus is not over here. My focus is in this word called memory. Just now, one of your friends said that this will create a block, or it will locate, or it is referred as a location, whatever be.
Temporary memory.
In the memory. Now my question is, which memory? Do this memory has got any name? Can I buy this memory? Can I purchase this memory? Can I catch hold of this memory?
So it's the storage, temporary memory.
That's what I'm asking. Yeah, somebody said something. Please come up.
RAM.
Sorry.
The random access memory, sir, in the RAM.
RAM, yes. I was waiting for this terminology. RAM. Random access memory. Perfect. True. So this is RAM. Yes, you can purchase RAM. RAM has a cost price involved. It has a memory capacity involved. So make sure whenever you're talking about the memory, please specify that you're talking about random access memory, RAM. So that means whenever I'm declaring a variable, unless and until, okay, my program is syntactically not correct, my program will not run. But when my program is syntactically correct, then I see the program in execution. When I'm seeing the program in execution, what will happen behind the scene? The very first thing is that if my program involves any variable, these 2 points both are correct. A block of memory will be created. So let's consider, you can go to Google and you can write down a picture of RAM. It would show something like this. Okay. A similar kind of architecture will be shown in front of you. So there are integrated circuits are there, IC chips are there. It would look something like this. So let's consider these are the chips, okay? Physically tangible, and you can catch hold of it. So let's consider one of this IC, okay? One of this IC. So if this is figure A, so I'm moving to figure B now. So let's consider that this is my IC, which has got something which we have already read in your C language. If I write something like this, try to recall and tell me that this diagram portrays what. Suppose, let's consider this is an address of suppose 100. It's an arbitrary address I'm taking. Suppose 101, so on and so forth. So can anyone tell me that this representation should remind you about something that you have read in C language?
Capacitor.
No, capacitor was not there in C language. It was there in digital.
So we have done array and
Yes, absolutely correct. Thank you. Well said. This diagram represents something called array. Something called array. And that's the reason why array is there. And why I'm talking about array, because array is also there in Python. So I'm trying to draw a connectivity between something which is a hardware base and something which is logical base. So practically the IC consists of these kind of memory addresses. Practically it is there. Yeah, it's not visible by our naked eyes, but those things practically exist. It's not hypothetical. They are actually there. Okay. But they are so tiny that it's not possible for our naked eye to visualize those addresses, but literally they are there. So now let me go to the next step of diagram. So now I'm focusing on, this would be my third diagram. So just see how the thing is, where from it started. The journey started from RAM. I took one of the IC. So if this is a RAM, picture of RAM, then this is a picture of one of the IC, integrated circuit. one of the ICs, and from there I'm coming to something called an array. So this is our focus of attention. Don't go by our diagram. My diagram may not be so good enough. Okay, but if the point is clear, that's enough for me. So this is how my memory will be broken, and each of this block is going to have some of its address. So whatever be its address, and these addresses are all unique. Okay, so it will follow like this. Now, where from it started? Let me repeat the line which I wrote a few minutes ago. It was int x. Int x. I wrote this. So when I wrote this, it created a block of memory inside RAM. But I cannot say like this. And name of this memory is, or name of this block, I should say, is X. But I cannot say like this, you know. I cannot say that it got created inside RAM. It doesn't sound good. If somebody asks you, where do you stay? Do you tell that I stay in Earth? We don't say it like that. Same thing. If somebody asks you, like the way I asked you today, this question, that what is index? So someone said it's a declaration of variable. Someone said it's a memory block that was created inside the RAM. Yeah, all are correct. So when somebody would ask you, where do you stay? If you say, I stay in Earth, that's not wrong. But that's not specific also, right? So what you are supposed to say when you have been asked, again, I'm asking the same question, that what is this? You should use a word that is very important as far as programming is concerned, as far as development is concerned. That is STACK, stack. Keep this word in your mind. This word is very crucial, really very important. Okay. So if somebody asks you, what is index? It's a memory block that has a name, that has an address, and this block has been created inside stack. This would be the actual technical statement. So memory block that got a name, got a data type, got an address, created inside stack. This is the sole focus you should have, because this word stack time and again will come. And as you go to the C++, you will be coming across another word over there, another memory representation would be there, which is very important. The same representation will also come in context to Python as well. Okay, so you saw already that this is the address which is physically there in the system, and whatever logical name I'm giving, that's over here. It has a data type. So depending upon the data type, it will be decided what type of value you're going to store, right? And that's the reason why when you used to write scanf statement, you used to write ampersand. So in context to scanf, when we used to write scanf, you used to write, suppose %d quote close comma, you used to write ampersand x. So what is the point of writing this ampersand? We used to write this one because this is called address of operator. So with the help of this operator, the exact location where this particular variable has been assigned in the memory, in the stack, would be pointed out. That's the reason we used to write this address of operator. Okay, but when it comes to Python, the thing would be slightly different. Okay, so we won't be doing like this. Why? Because C language is a compiler based. I hope you are acquainted of this term called compiler.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So if C is compiler based, then what Python would be? Python is also compiler based. What about
Sir,
C++?
we use IDE. So what's an IDE then?
You tell me, what do you think? What about Python?
It's an interpreter.
Sir, interpreter.
Interpreter, right. Python is an interpreter based language. So can anyone tell me what is the basic difference between a compiler and interpreter based language?
So, compiler, it converts the program into the computer language at once, and interpreter, it compiles it like one line at a time.
One line at a time. So when it is a compiler based, it will not compile one line at a time.
Not compiling, sir. It changes the source code into object code, one line at a time.
As a developer, what's the difference then? Because that's something happening internally. But I, being a developer, does that really matters to me?
So compiler, so compiler is actually faster than an interpreter because I think the interpreter acts as a middleman between the user and the system.
That is also very difficult to judge that how much difference it would be in context to speed, because the kind of program what would be doing is very negligible. It would be taking a very negligible amount of time. So exactly we would not be able to figure out the difference. Okay. Fine. We will keep this point also in the mind, that what is the difference between a compiler and interpreter. Whatever you know, that's okay. But I would like to give the explanation in a bit different way. And that also in context to practical explanation. Okay. Not just by saying line to line or as a whole. That is something which we will not be able to visualize. But I want to give the definition in a bit different way. Okay. So let me open my ID. Hopefully all the installation is over by now. So here is my command prompt. I'm already inside the folder. Again, I'm going to do the same operation. So I'm typing again the path. I'm going to select the path and then type CMD. The command prompt gets open. And now I will type a shortcut. The VS Code will provide me this shortcut, that is code followed by a space and a period. This is a shortcut that you will be getting once you install VS Code. So what you will write? You will write code, all should be lowercase, followed by a space and then a period. Okay. And then what I will do? I will hit enter. And that will open the VS Code with the current folder being selected by default. It might prompt you to enter to allow this checkbox. Yes, I want to trust, because this folder is getting open for the first time. So it's saying, are you going to trust us? Yes, no problem. So click this checkbox and click OK. Yeah, fine. So you can see over here my folder bio_python, which this is the folder it is. That's been shown over here. Okay. So this is a very nice way that saves time and it does the work very quickly. Okay, so now I need to create a file because my folder is empty. I need to create a file where I will be writing my program. So right now you can see the background. There is no such file present. So I have to create a file. So if I bring my mouse pointer just beside the folder name, that is BioPython, you will see 4 icons appearing over here. The very first icon at the left hand side is a new file. If I click this, cursor appears over here. Whatever file name you feel like, you can give it, but make sure you give an extension .py. So this is the first file. So I'm writing index.py. You can choose whatever name you feel, no problem with that. But make sure your file name should be in lowercase. If you're going for multiple word, then do put underscore in between. Okay, and if you're taking one word like what I have done, no issue with that. And don't forget to give the extension .py. Hit the enter. In the background, you will see the file appears. Yes, here the file also appeared. Okay, so this is the file in which we will be doing our program. The extension of the Python is .py. Fine. Now, before I start working on the program part, this is a class where section A and section B both are combined, doing a combined class. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
From section A and from section B, the class CR are present right now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, could you just figure out that if, like, before the end of the class, I will take the attendance. So your responsibility would be to tell me if there is someone who is not present. So from section A, the CR will tell me the roll number of the student or the name of the student who is not present. And the same way section B will also tell me if someone is not present. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. So let's continue with the program part now. So this is the very first program which I'm going to do. And let me tell you honestly, I want to go for an honest confession. The way I will write the Python program, it will be a little bit different. Okay. So I want a full cooperation from every one of you. What I want, if you have a problem, if you have a question, if the thing is not clear, make sure you please ask me. Don't hesitate at all. If you do that, you will be at the losing side. Okay. Just because you did C language, and since you will be doing C++ in this semester only, so the approach which I'm following is very professional approach. I told you I'm not a regular faculty of your university. I'm a guest faculty. So the way I do my work in my organization, that's the pattern which I'm following right over here. So thing might not be smooth at the very beginning, but sooner the thing will be very comfortable. Okay. Don't hesitate. Don't feel shy. Be smart enough and please ask me that this portion is not clear. I won't mind at all because this is my job. So the very first thing what I'm writing is the def keyword, DEF. And then I'm writing MAIN, the supreme is close, followed by a colon, and I hit the enter. I have made the screen zoom so that you can see it properly. Remember, in case of Python, we don't have any curly braces. We don't have any curly braces. So indentation is very important over here. Indentation, INDENTATION. And that indentation will be achieved if you follow certain rules. The first thing is, while giving indentation, you have to press the tab from the keyboard. Tab, T-A-B. Please look at your keyboard and you will find there is a tab button is there. Okay, so we will be using the tab from the keyboard for indentation. Again, I'm going back. If I do not type colon and if I hit the enter, look the difference, indentation is not coming because syntactically this is wrong. The moment I put a colon over here and if I hit the enter, look, the indentation is maintained. Why it is so? Had this been C language or C++, you were supposed to write curly bracket open, curly bracket close over here. Just because being Python and Python do not encourage curly bracket, so we have to rely on indentation. Majority of time you will be coming across error based on indentation if you are not very serious about indentation. Python being one of the rarest programming language which has given so much on regard to the indentation. No other programming language has given so much damn importance. Yeah, iOS, Apple, Well, what to talk about Apple? Apple are always different. Okay. Apple also has got a similar kind of thing. Over there also indentation does matter. So Python and iOS, these are the two language where things are a bit different. So you have to be very careful.
Sir,
Yes.
so in the PyCharm, the after giving the semicolon, the
I will
indentation is
suggest you.
coming.
I will
But
suggest you. I will suggest you. Don't right now. Don't work in Python. PyCharm. Okay,
so then I
because
will install.
yes, because at this point of time, let everything be in a universal way. Then I will shift to the editor. Then you go to that editor. Okay, because why I'm saying it, why I'm saying not to work on PyCharm, because PyCharm is dedicatedly meant for Python. But you know, in real life, you don't have anything by default. Real life is very odd scenario. You don't know what will happen at what point of time. So suddenly you come across an environment where there is no PyCharm or there is no dedicated IDs is not present. Then how will you manage? If you're working on PyCharm, many things will be happening behind the scene by default. And that is not going to happen in case of VS Code, because VS Code is not meant for Python. It's meant for universal. You can write anything over here. You can write Java over here. You can do even C program in VS Code also. Yes, you rightly heard. You can do C program in VS Code. You can do Java program in VS Code also. In fact, I do Java in VS Code only. And now I'm doing Python. So you can understand it's very flexible. Okay, so you have to remember the rules. So today, on next few days, you please work on VS Code. After that, we'll switch on to the IDE. Then we will learn those things from there. Okay, so coming back. So I wrote def main brace on brace close, and I'm putting a colon, and I hit the enter. Once you do that, you will find the indentation. Okay. And now I will type the statement which you have seen number of times, that is called print. And within single quote, I'm writing welcome. Another enter. See, again the indentation is followed. But suppose I don't want the indentation right now anymore. I don't want that. So what I will do, I will go for a backspace. I will go for a backspace. That means you are not following the indentation anymore. Okay, so this, if you write something without indentation, that means it is not a part of main brace open brace close. Now, before I proceed further, I will ask you guys. Oh, it's almost, this class is going to end at 2:40, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we're in the verge of ending up. But before I bind up, tomorrow we have a class. Tomorrow we will do, tomorrow 2 sessions will be there. So a lot of things we will be covering tomorrow. So before I bind up, can anyone tell me what I have written over here? What is this? How would you summarize? What would you say?
So you have defined a function to print welcome.
Very good. I've defined a function. So def is the keyword for defining a function. Colon is the way you write the scope, you write the indentation. So this is how we will be using function in Python. Now, usually you will not find this. Okay, this is not the regular pattern of doing it, but since you are reading in a very good college, very esteemed college, one of the reputed college of India, University of India, so undoubtedly your way of approach should be different. So before I wrap up the whole thing, let me write few lines, couple of 2 lines very quickly. Tomorrow I will explain the entire thing and we will continue from here tomorrow. Just to show you the output of the very first program, I'm writing this one. So I will be writing if within bracket double underscore name, again double underscore. I know these things are, we will be something very new for you all. Don't worry. I will explain everything. And then again in single quote, I will write double underscore main double underscore. And then I will come out of the bracket. I will put a colon and hit the enter. And then I will give a call to my main function. That's all. Don't worry if you have not understood anything about it. Naturally, you will not understand. So let me zoom out a bit. Yes. And my file is auto-saved. Auto-save means if you come to the file option, you will get an option over here called auto-save. If you click this checkbox, the file will be saved automatically. Okay. So this is the first program which I did. So very quickly, let me run the program. My command prompt is already open. So I will come to my command prompt. Here is my command prompt. It's already there. So what I will write the command Python space, and the name of the file is index. I don't have to type entirely. I wrote initial 2 words and then press the tab from the keyboard. The entire name came automatically, and I will hit the enter. Wow, it did print the message welcome. So how it worked, what I wrote, what is the meaning of these things, everything will be clear tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll start right from here. Okay. I will ask everyone, please take down the snapshot of this so that at least you run the program, you get to see the output. So anybody executed the program?
Yes, sir.
Is the output coming?
Yes, sir.
The same output what I'm seeing?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, so tomorrow I will explain one by one what is the meaning of this whole thing. Okay, so let me stop my screen share, and please the CR tell me if there is someone who is not present.
So from section A, Aritrika Dihidar and Neha Sengupta.
Just a second. Can you please tell me the roll number of these two
So
people?
can you stop the recording and it will get saved?
Okay. Just yeah.